I'm good. I ain't tripping. Part of the swag, baby. I'm playing.
The Texans are 3-1. Why don't we feel that way? CJ Stroud steps to the podium after going 27 for 40 for 345 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But this was a way more stressful game than it felt like it needed to be. Here's CJ. Thanks to BetUS for sponsoring this video. First question was about Kalen Bullock's hustle play where he saved what looked to be a touchdown at first.
Yeah, that's a huge play, man. Like, NFL is about, it's a game of inches, a game of yards. They come down to, small details that we always talk about. And, D'Amico always talks about, man, just give us a blade of grass to stand up on. And, I trust in our defense to come up big, and they did, man. So, shout out to Kalen playing really well. As a rookie, I know how hard that is.
I think Kalen Bullock, Kamari Lassiter are two guys that have played very well as rookies, but I think you can look at, all right, these guys theoretically should get better as the season goes along. There's youth on the offensive side of the ball that's keeping me from wanting to open a vein over a lot of the issues on this team right now, as they are 3-1, but we all know that if Sam Darnold, if he'd been the quarterback of the Jaguars today, that the Jaguars probably would have won. So that's where it's frustrating as you face the Buffalo Bills next week. Oh, man. And I'll tell you another thing. If you gambled on this game, maybe you'd bet the over like yours truly did. That near safety at the end of the game, it turned into, that was devastating. So they didn't cover today. But look, I have a great time placing my bets at BetUS right now. When you use the offer code YouTube150, they will give you a 150% bonus on your first deposit. And your second and third deposits, they'll give you a 125% bonus all the way up to $2,000. They've got the fastest payouts in the business, in-game betting, and a whole lot more. Check it out at BetUS and use that offer code YouTube150. Next question, he was asked about his relationship with Nico Collins, who had 12 receptions for 151 yards and a touchdown today. He basically was always open.
Man, it's it's grown. I always go back to like when I first met Neek, throwing on the field during OTAs, and I told him, man, like, you're a superstar, and I'm gonna make sure people know that. And I feel like ever since then, like, man, he's had a swag and a confidence, starting from last year, and it's just rolling in now. So he's been big for us. He's always somebody that I lean on, like when I'm ever like just looking down or whatever. He come up to me. He don't do too much. Like, he just be like, hey, Merrill, like, you good. You know who you are.
When I was watching Nico today, honestly, where it seemed like at times Nico was the only offense on the field that you can depend upon, it felt like when Andre Johnson was a young player and he didn't have a quarterback like CJ Stroud throwing the ball, but there were times where we'd be on the sideline as a defense just sitting and being like, I really hope, can Dre go for 300 yards today? I think we really need Dre to go for 300 yards today. So I know we hate to make the comparison between Nico and Andre Johnson. There are elements in terms of the size and dependability and all of that. The stoic way of going about his business. Nico's got more outward extroverted personality traits than Andre does, but he is all about just doing his job. Okay, you paid me? Cool. I'm going to go out and just keep working. Probably going to be underpaid here over the next couple of years, and I'm probably not going to whine or complain about it or agitate for a new contract. So it's really cool to have a dude like that on your team. As a guy that knew how cool it was to have a guy like Andre Johnson on his team, it's nice to see Nico also have a quarterback and a partnership that you could see really growing in the future. Next question was whether he saw something different on their final scoring drive, or was it just that they were in 2-minute mode?
We honestly didn't even go into 2 minute, but we were just clicking now. Like, I know you guys are gonna ask me, but we got to stop moving backwards. And I mean, every time we do that, we put ourselves in a hard position to be efficient. And I feel like whenever we are on the green side or we're doing well away from penalties, we're moving the ball against anybody, So I definitely think that last drive, we just did a good job of staying in front of the sticks, taking what I seen and, running when I needed to and whatnot. So, I think we were just locked in. Defense gave us another shot, and that's all we needed, man. So, just like they got our back, we got theirs.
There was a penalty on that drive, but it was actually on the defense. And I know all Texans fans see that yellow laundry on the turf, and they get PTSD over the 11-plus penalties they've had in each of the 3 last games. But that drive, Agumbawale, a revelation. That guy, I keep calling him an up-and-coming young player. He's 30. He's been on the Texans forever. And then Dalton Schultz. I still can't figure out why Dalton Schultz isn't a good blocker because he has all the toughness that it takes to be a good blocker. He's done this multiple times, these tough, gritty games and big games. Tennessee last year, where he basically stole the ball away from the defender. Some of the bulldozes he had in the Cleveland game last year. So they showed a lot of grit at the end of the game. So this team might be lagging in some respects, but they are capable of having grit. The other thing I really liked about that touchdown play was how quickly they got up to the line and got the snap off. Catch the sometimes it's great to play slow and take everything in. Sometimes you get up to the line, you like what you see, and just go. And that was nice to see. Question was, at what point do you tell the offense that, hey, we could be better if we just play with a faster tempo, which is interesting.
We're playing our brand of football, man. Like we're just because you get 2-3 and out doesn't mean you're having a bad day. I respect what you're saying. I understand. But just because you go tempo don't mean like things just start rolling. Like we tried that weeks prior and we're just getting shells, So, but I do understand where you're coming from. I think, we can, get more of a tempo and get going a little more. And then not even just staying no huddle, really just getting out the huddle, breaking the huddle the right way. All the elite teams I ever watched growing up, Patriots, I watched Stafford a lot with the Rams. I can go so on and so forth. Man, you watch it on TV as a kid, you see how quick they break from the huddle when they get on the line of scrimmage, and the defense feels that. And now you get an opportunity to read the defense a little more, and I think that's where we can take the next level and get better at. But yeah, I definitely do think we came out a little short out of the second half, but it's not about looking down on yourself. It's all about the next play, making the next play the better play. And my team actually helped me doing that. Missed a throw in the first half that I know I can make, and I just rushed it. But they picked me up and came back in the locker room and just went from there. And we don't. That's one thing about ball. You can't like hang your head down too long, because man, the other team ain't doing that. They trying to get you. So. Yeah, but I definitely do understand where you're coming from. But, I feel like, man, we got a lot of good things going on offense, and we got to just clean things up for sure.
That was really interesting what he said. Hey, we've tried going tempo before, and teams just come out and cover two shells. This is where not being able to run the ball at will really hurts the Texans because, yeah, if you could run the ball versus cover two, which you're supposed to be able to do, you're supposed to. If a team wants to play cover two, they're conceding that you're going to run the ball with some success on them. They're just going to try to create some mistakes that you can't drive all the way down the field that way. And the Texans haven't been able to do that. So I think they would and could play with more tempo if they were actually able to run the ball efficiently and effectively and consistently. And the other thing was, man, the guy was being polite in the question. He asked about the several punts in a row. It was 5 punts in a row before the final touchdown drive. I mean, this is why you were so frustrated during this football game that ended up with a victory, but it was moribund. It was just dead in there. 5 punts in a row in the second half until they got that final 9-play, 69-yard touchdown drive that only took 2 minutes, 36 seconds. And as CJ said, they weren't really in 2-minute mode or hurry up. And as far as getting up to the line quickly, yeah, dictate terms, because that way you get up to the line quickly, maybe you like what you see, and boom, you hit it, just like they did on that touchdown run. Or maybe you take 15 or 20 seconds to really make some shifts and changes. Meanwhile, the defensive linemen are getting tired and agitated, lactic acid building up in their legs. That's good stuff. And they're just not right there quite yet. But CJ's got a vision for it, so I like that he's got a vision for it. Hey, so that's it. I'm going to try to do some more film breakdown. If you're wondering what the heck happened to my face, you can check out my live stream from Saturday. So thanks again to BetUS.